Well, yeah, everything done. Um, yeah, I win. Now we are live on YouTube. So guys, let me present myself, actually introduce myself. I am Nicole Souza. I am 18 years old. I am not a teacher, okay? I am actually a student. I've been studying English since 2020. I don't have a fluency in English, but so probably I'm gonna commit many mistakes. But yeah, that's right, because here is the right place to commit these mistakes, right? And no one will correct you here. If you like, if you say, "Oh, please correct me," if you say everything like a word wrong, so we can help each other, and that's it. Please, guys, introduce yourself. I didn't put the question here, but basically we start out calls introducing ourselves. So yeah.
Okay,
I can
I will
start.
start. Go ahead, Ezra.
Okay, Sarah, thank you. I am Esdras. I am 42 years old. I am sys developer. I am living in Sorocaba, São Paulo. I am married. I have two sons. I like to play video game. I like watch movies and series is with my wife. That's it.
Okay, I will continue. I'm Sonia. I am 53. I'm from Paraguay. I live in Asunción. I think I'm the only Paraguayan in Talk and Talk for now. I'm psychologist. I am clinical and organizational psychologist. I'm married. I don't have kids. I have two pets, Polo and Flash. They are my kids. My husband is from Brazil. I collection orchids in my garden. I have a lot of orchids and I love to take care of them. It's a good therapy for me. And I like to watching series, listening music, spend time with my little nephew, with my husband and my pets. And I love going to concerts when I can. That's all for now.
Okay, guys, sorry for talk right now, but I realize there's so many people here. Probably I need to tune you guys apart in small rooms, but let's keep going after, okay? Right now you guys are receiving a link to, yeah, let me see here. Okay. Yeah, now we can keep going on. So, Gabriel, can you introduce yourself?
Hello, everyone. Good evening. I'm Gabriel Correa. I'm 28 years old, and I'm living here in Minas. And I'm economist that's my formation. I conclude my graduation in January for 2020 in Federal University of Viçosa. Today, I'm unemployed, but I try to change my career for other areas. I really like to politic things, and I like to improve things about this topic, and I really like to study about this topic about politics. And in my free time I like to I like to rest. I like to sleep after the lunch. I really love them. And I think that's it. I really like to write books. These years, I returned to write many books, and I really love to spend more time reading. And for now, that's it.
Well, I think we can start. The first question is basically, what does success mean to you personally, and how do you plan to achieve it? Like for me, success is like when you are striving yourself as much as you can to get something. Like I can say, for example, right now I am a student because I want so much to pass it at university. So I'm actually trying to get this success in my life, and I hope this year I will get this. And how am I planning? Like I, for example, I like to do a list of things that I want so much to achieve, and I try to work to work on it. Like to focus. Like for example, right now I'm studying uh like in English. I'm studying English, keeping talking because I want to get the fluence. Yeah, that's it. What about you, Idris?
The question number one, yes?
Yeah, number one.
Okay. Success for me can be several things. Or planning to achieve the goal, a goal. You can be a big goal or a small goal, or maybe you can break it, the big goal into small goals, and plan how to achieve it. I think any success or the most success you can achieve through planning and dedication and focus. Maybe that's it.
Oh, now Idris, choose one person to answer that question, please.
Gabriel.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it, and I think that success depends of the time if you're living. When I was in the college, for example, success for me it's really take a big notes. I don't know if a good guy and that place today. Success is when I working a great job, and I don't know if depends the time if you are living, but success is when you are have a good mental health is very important to successful people, and you like to be good things for you and the other people, or I can do good things and the other people like that see it, and I really like too, and my mental health is good. I'm a successful man. And for me, how and I plan how am I playing, I try to be successful all the day. For example, today I wake up and I need to run to the gym, and I need to go to the gym, and I need to study about this. And in these days I was study this, and I go to my compromise, and I try to improve for other things if I don't know. For example, English, or one time on my day I like to improve this, and that's it. And the life is happy, and the success is the process too. It's the when you finish that all of things to do, you have successful. I think that's it. Can you understand? Can you start, Sonia?
Okay. For me, it's, this success means like to be happy with your life in the professional and in the personal area. For example, for me, a success is can work in my profession here in my country, where the psychology is not a very much accepted profession. People still have a lot of prejudice about psychologists and psychiatrists, and it's hard to handle with it. But in my case, I work in my profession and it is very, very good for me. I am happy for that. I am doing that. I am doing that I like to do. And in the personal area, to be a good family, to build a family with my husband and my 2 kids of the others is because they are bigger, is a success for me too. And to be friends, real friends, and close family near to me. It is part of my success. I am building my steps all the day. Some things I have to plan, and other things I let flow, because all the time, not all the time we can take the control of the things. A big example for me was the pandemic. The pandemic destroyed a lot of plans of many people, including me and my husband. And it was a learning for me about to do plans in long term, for example. And I think this is it. I don't know how to explain very much in English. It's difficult. Can you continue, Jefferson?
Yes, of course. Yeah, I have a big problem. I can't access the TNT room, and I don't have the questions here. I don't know what to talk about. I think it's success, no?
Okay, I'm gonna try to.
Yeah, I'm just a bit later. Yeah,
Um,
I can't access the platform. I really don't know what's happening.
I don't know
But let's
too. The
go.
link. I don't know too. The link was with a problem, and I can't put all the questions on the chat. So if everybody has all the same questions,
Okay, thank you, Nicole. The first one, what does success mean to me? I think success when you achieve your goals. It's very important. You have defined clear goals about your personal, for example, about my wife, my daughter, my friends, and everything that we do. About professional, I think it's very important. I worked a lot with big companies too. I think it's very important. Professional, I think it's the same. You must have results. You must achieve your targets, achieve your goals. And I am professor from Catholic University. And the academic success for me is to give a very good class. The students love the class. It's okay. It's so nice. When you write a good article, and I need to write at least 2 articles by year. So for me, this is a kind of success. That's it.
Wow, Tamara, I think you are the last person to answer.
Yeah, so good evening, everyone. Jefferson, a long time I don't see you. It's a
2
pleasure.
months and a half.
Oh my.
Long time.
And so good evening, everyone. About number 1, that's it? Huh? For me, I guess it's when you achieve your goals. For example, about the job. It's like we really enjoy about what do you do in your job. And sometimes it's make not sense talking about money. Because if you have and you receive a lot of money and you don't be happy in your job, for me, it's complicated. But about personally, actually, I don't know, for example, because sometimes the women would like, for example, have a marriage or become a mother. I guess it's the example about success mean in your personal life. But in my case, I guess it's okay nowadays, and that's it.
Wow. So the second question is really good. That is, can you share an example of a specific goal you set for yourself and the steps you took to plan and achieve it? To myself, one remarkable goal that I could achieve was when in 2022, that when I was applying to the Youth Ambassador program by the US Embassy, and I could pass, and I had the opportunity to study for 1 month in the United States in Chicago. So was really, really amazing because I remember there was me and more 49 person, actually students from public schools, and it was a really competitive program. And like I could be there representing my state. I live in Sergipe, guys, and it was amazing. And I confess that I like at the time I didn't have a good English as I have today, right? So to communicate to people there was a challenge to me, mainly Americans, and they love to speak really fast. So sometimes I was just like, oh, please, can you repeat again? Because I didn't understand. I didn't understand you. And like they were like, okay. The good point is that Americans are really kind. Most of them actually. But that was a goal that I had in 2019 and I could achieve in 2022 for like 3 years. I was studying to get this and I could get this and I could enjoy it as much as I could and it was really, really amazing. That's it. What about you, Jefferson? I think you have a good experience in that.
Yeah, really. I remember in your age, I decided to do economics. I define my clear goal. I love mathematics. I try to do engineer, but I love about economics, financial planning, history, sociology, and so on. So I decided to do this. And then I have a goal. My goal was to be a professor, really not a teacher, a professor from university. And I did my undergraduate and then my master's degree and my doctorate. It's very important. You need to create your timeline. What kind of goals or goal you need to achieve. I identify a lot the resources, maybe where I need to do my master's degree, my doctorate, for example. I did my doctorate in Brasilia, and I developed an action plan. I think this is very important. And then just to monitor the progress and stay tuned all the time about the upgrades of this. And that's my life. I graduated in 1982, and until now I'm studying all the time. I think we study, because I need to update all my knowledge every day, and that's what I do.
Please, Jefferson, now choose one person to answer that question.
Okay, maybe Esdras. It's from Turkey. Esdras. Where I come from with this name, poor guy.
I am from Brazil. I live in São Paulo, Sorocaba, São Paulo.
Okay.
Okay. Share an example. Yeah. In 2018, I was not satisfied with my professional career, and I decided to change the of career. I looked for a course that I like, and identified with a course called the System Analysis and Development. And I started the course in 2018, and at the end of the 2019, I finished my degree. The step for achieve the meta, I study month after month, and with the finishing my degree in 2019. And you, Sonia, you share an example.
Okay. I will share an example about my career. I was very young when I finished the high school, and I decided to start the college when I was 16. And I go to the public university, and 30 years ago, I think, psychology, it wasn't a good career to study, because nowadays we have a lot of prejudice about psychologists. Can you imagine 30 years ago? So I decided to study psychology, and I decided to during my career, I decided to be volunteer in a clinic of psychotherapists, helping for everything, like a secretary, receptionist, or something. And because my goal was camp practice while I was studying, because I good I want to have the practicing, not only the theory, because the college give you a theory but don't give you the practice. And so it was a good decision, because I start working as a secretary, then I become co-therapist. I be in the session of patients with a psychotherapist, listen to her and learning from her. And when I finished my college, I was prepared to attend patients, because I read a lot. I read to Freud, and I read a lot, but I have the practicing too. And it was very important for me. Maybe I was the only student that was prepared to attend the inpatient when I finished the college. And it was very good for me, because I get a job when I finished my career, and since now I didn't stop to working in my profession. What about you, Gabriel?
Oh, I remember when I finished my college, I tried to follow that people. My TCC, I don't know how can I say this in English, and I have one teacher, she has my advisor, and then sometimes she said me, oh, we don't have data for conclude this. And another year we finished it, and I think, oh my God, I need to finish now, and we need to change all things I need in the first time, and I call for other professor, and I say, oh, you need to be my advisor now. And he said me, oh, we really don't have time, and oh, I really like to conclude this in this year. And we start. Jefferson says it's about if I not like to work to econometry, and I say for the professor, and he said me, oh, we need to work in econometry, and I accept, because I don't have other choice. And I worked a lot in these days, and I studied a lot too, and I tried to conclude that job, and I'm conclude my graduation. It's very important to me. And the other year we published that article, and I really like to results if we showed, you know. It's a moment if I need to have a goals, and I need to conclude my graduation, and I need to talk for the professor, and I need to study things if I really don't like, but it's necessary, and we can, and I really like to this. And about you, Tamara?
In my case, it's learning and talking in English, because before the last year, I can't, for example, present myself for other person in English. So I guess in February, the last year, I both the course Inglês Falado here on TNT, And until nowadays, I try practicing and improve my English since February. And I become hosts here on TNT since I guess August. And I'm here talking with you guys. I'm not improving a lot my English, but I try. I need, for example, read a book in English, try writing more things in English. But that's it.
Well, guys, sorry for my mom. We got a little problem, but yeah, I hope we can resolve after. Um, Gabriel, can you read the question 3, please?
Yeah. In your opinion, how is important this long-term planning is achieved success compared to short-term planning? Oh, it's not easy. When you have a goals to a long term, you need to go things in your short term. I think that's it. Or if I need to, in my case, for example, I need to have a job today, I have to study for change my career and applying for that areas. And today, if I really like to do, and I don't know, it's you have to plan, right? In the college, always the same. Oh, in the short time or in your long time, and you answer these questions. It's today is very different for 5 years, for example. Today you have to go things you are possible. Okay, today I'm possible to study to improve for other things, English, for example, study data, studying, I don't know. And then long time and the long term, I can to go to the goals. I think that's it. I don't know if it's so good. That's it.
Well, what about you, Esdras?
I guess depends what is the goal, because if the plan can be a long term, it's better. I think generally, a long term planning can be more details or more steps, but not always you have this time, and sometimes you need heavier planning, a short term, but it's very important to always have a plan some time in advance. I think that's it.
Well, what about you, Jefferson?
I really I don't believe in short-term planning, shortcuts. In Portuguese, cursinhos validos. I really don't. I can't imagine this. You have success in short term. It's impossible. So you need to think long term. You need to think about your life. What do you want for your life? I used to say this to my students. What do you want to be? Let's do an exercise here. Think about your how much you must save money, how much you must invest for the next 10 years. And you need to think long term. All the time I'm doing this with my students. and even with my daughters all the time think about this. And I think it's very important to have long term what you want about your life. And I learned this when I began my course a long time ago, as I said. And I believe you need to create a timeline about your life, what kind of goals you to achieve. For example, let's put in practice. I need to study Excel. As economist, I need to know Excel. This is the basic, to be very good, the best in Excel. Before Excel, you need to study other language. For example, our language, I study a lot. It's okay, study. But now, everybody is studying Python, and I need to change to Python. But I have a basic from Excel and our language. Now, it's better. What I wanna, what does it mean? That I have a plan. It's impossible, for example, to know about Power BI without know about Excel. It's impossible. You need to know about Excel. This is the way I plan my life. And again, the same. When I began to study, I decided to be a professor. And I said, for me to be a good professor, I need to do a doctorate. It's impossible to be a good professor without to be doctorated. And I study a lot. And that's my life.
Good point, Jefferson. A really good point. What about you, Tamara?
In my case, I agree with Jefferson said about the short term planning, because sometimes it don't happen. And about the long term, I guess you don't have a thinking so much about this, just to start it. For example, because if you thinking about it, for example, it's make me a lazy, for example, and you can't start, for example, learning the new things like Jefferson said. So don't think it, just start it. A plan long term. That's it.
Well, Sonia, what about you? What do you think?
In my opinion, it's important to have plans in short term, medium terms, and long term. I like to plan my life, my career, and my future, because I am 53 and we don't have children with my husband, and we have to plan our future together and decide what will we do in the future. Choose if you would stay here in Paraguay to live when we are older, and it's good to talk about it with your partner, in my case with my husband. But it's important to have plans, and because the time flies. When you open your eyes, you grow up and you have to decide a lot of things about your short future. And it's important to plan for me in short term and in medium term and in long term too.
Like, I agree with everybody, with you all guys. Like, for me, what is important is planning. Both, even long-term planning or a medium long-term plan, actually a medium-term planning or short-term planning. What is important to me is planning. Of course, that we need to consider the time, but to me, it's more important consider how much challenging can be, right? Are you guys understand me? Like for example, maybe your goal is a good goal, but like it's really, I don't know. For example, a job. I want so much to get a job, but it's really competitive, you know? So it's a kind of challenge that you can face. So you need to get in mind that you will do your best, basically. That is what I consider. Well, planning is important. I think no matter the goal, it's really good planning, even if like a simple goal or a hard goal to achieve it, but it's good to planning. Yeah.
I
Uh,
totally agree with Tamara when she says about started things. We have one goals in common. We have to be fluent in the same point of your life. If we're not started, we're not can do this. Oh, in my first time, I was terrible in talking. Today it's not so good, but I'm learning, and we are never going to be fluent, and that things never happen. And your mind, oh my God, I'm a terrible person. I'm a trash, and we need to start this. And other days you have to see that that things. Oh, I'm started, and now I'm going, and I'm I'm that guy. I'm started that things, and the other days I'm thinking about. Oh, another day, for example, I need to ride a motorcycle, and I started, and I hate them. And oh my God, why I think about these, and oh, now I think I need to finish this. I spend more money in this case, and I finish, and that's enough. I'd like to that things. Oh, you need to start, and the other days you're thinking about.
it's like I don't know how translate that, but it's like let our lives lead us, basically. Deixa a vida te levar. Well, Jefferson, can you read the next question, please?
Yeah, yes, of course. What role do setbacks and failures play in the journey towards success? And how do you adapt your plans when you face it with them? Oh, I'll talk 1 hour about this, but in short, let's go there. I think that the first thing you must learn opportunities. If you have opportunity, take the opportunities and go and try to do your best about opportunities. The second, be resilient. It's very important, resilient. If you know a goal, this is the goal that you must achieve. Be resilient. Never give up about this goal. The third one, I think you must innovate every day. Every day it's different. Every day it's a new day. Every day we need to be creative. So I think that's the point. And the other part of the question is how do you adapt it? It's very important, like Raul Seixas. I'm a metamorphosis, ambulance metamorphosis. You must change by life. You can be the same all your life. So you need to analyze, you need to reflect your goals, your life, everything. And then you must to adjust. It's very important. As I said, sometimes you are in some kinds of job or occupation, you need to change. It's not so easy. And just to finish, when all of this, I think the best way to adapt to, this is my case now, it's to reevaluate the strategies. Sometimes you have a strategy and you to change the strategy or strategies, depends. For me, my strategy, I'm changed a lot because now I'm working with business consultants too and professional. And I'm a professional business consultant. It's so different. It's a new word for me.
Now choose Jefferson, another person, to answer that question, please.
Maybe Sonia Fanego, española, Fanego, yo no sé.
Paraguaya, no español. Okay, it's hard. I think it's important to learn about our failures and take a time to process it and then get up and continue with our lives. And if we have to change your plans, do it. Just do it, because not necessarily the life is like we imagine. Sometimes we need to change our plans about the job or work of family. I agree with Jefferson. Resilience is very important, but it's not easy. I think it's not easy for anyone. Resilience take time. Resilience need a process, and some people are more resilient than other people. I'm not a very resilient people. I think changes are difficult for me, and when I have a failure, I suffer a lot because I'm very perfectionist and I want to do everything perfect. Talking English, for example, for me, was difficult because I don't like to make mistake, and I wasted a lot of time without studying English for my perfectionism. The important is to start and go for your goals. It's hard, it's not easy, but it's life. It is what it is. Estras, can you continue?
Now, Sonia, please choose the person. Oh,
Uh,
are you guys listening?
yeah.
I think, yeah.
I think this is a part of the journey.
Well, my internet is stopped.
Because it's frozen in my screen.
Here too.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Esther.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I think this is a part of the journey, and not everything goes right. I always try to learning something from a mistake or a failures, to improve it, and not make the same mistake, or at least try to avoid them. That's it. And you, Gabriel?
Gabriel, you answered the question already? No?
No, this question, no. I'm thinking about it, and how much setbacks we have in one day. Oh, it's it's incredible. Other day I said with my mom, oh, nothing I'm planning to happen. It's very difficult to, and she said, oh, it's life happening. That's okay. You need to change your mind. You need to change your plans. But all the time we planning for example, I don't know, we have, oh, tomorrow I go to another place and that thing's not happening, and I'm applying for this job and that job not happen. And it's very important to be a good mental health to accept that setbacks is the life is a constant setback. I don't know if in my case I try to return to thinking about and choose my choices and choose my when I'm going, and that things happen all the time. It's very important to, I really like to be mental health to very so good to be stay a good person in your setbacks in life, your presents ourselves. I think that's it. Do you agree, Tamara?
I totally agree because, for example, about setbacks and about the, oh, I forgot the other name, failures. I have this all the time, for example, all the day, on my week or weekend. And for example, it's important to don't give up. Because, for example, when it's happening with me or with the other person, it's normal to make give up and, for example, doing something. And my advice is keep doing, don't give up. Because it's hard, for example, learning new things, do the other things, but I believe it's possible, can do all the things that you really like. For example, really, if you really need to learn something. That's it.
Yeah. And one thing happens to my screen, breakout rooms. You need to break out rooms and
se tiver, Gabriel, ali no More, como você está como host, pode parar a live.
Yeah, and
E ali
close our
no More.
rooms.
Se tiver sala aberta, como eu entrei depois, se tiver sala aberta, você pode fechar as salas. Close your rooms, vai dar 60 segundos ali para o pessoal voltar, um minutinho.
Okay,
Mas acho que
coloquei
muito
aqui
tempo.
agora.
Agora o pessoal vai começar a voltar.
Yeah. Como que
E
para
aí
o
depois.
YouTube?
Que eu não tenho tudo que você está enxergando embaixo no menu, eu não consigo ver. Eu não lembro de cabeça a posição onde está. Lê para mim, por favor, as opções. Tem o microfone, o vídeo.
Aqui em cima tem um host, aí tem um